How's everybody doing today? So, when I talked about manifestation and the tests that come into your life after you start practicing the meditations and visualizing your manifestations and all that, you'll have these tests that I always talk about. Also, to caveat with that, there's something else that's also attached to those tests. When I said the universe has to slowly bend your reality, because when you shift into a different parallel reality, you're doing all these practices, the universe has to make the change around you, and it'll upset your settings. It'll upset what's around you. So you'll get bills in the mail. Friends, coworkers, and family might start causing conflict, unnecessary conflict and arguments with you. You might lose your keys to your car trying to drive to work, or maybe running errands and stuff like that. All these things are actually a sign that your manifestations are working. You're taking it as it's bad stuff that's coming at you, and it's kind of relentless. But in order for the parallel reality to change around you, it's got to make all those changes and put all that past stuff behind you. So the things that would irritate you in the old world system, like losing your keys, petty stuff like that, a boss talking to you in a certain way that you don't care for, or demeaning you, or telling you off, and that type of stuff, that stuff doesn't exist anymore in the new parallel reality. You don't have those bosses anymore, telling you what to do every single day, because you're your own boss. In the new parallel reality, you're a co-creator with God. You're creating the universe around you. You don't have bosses anymore. You don't have a supervisor anymore at your job, because you have your own job, and you're the one in charge of it. Whether that's you doing your creative passion, or creating your own business and stuff like that, that's the new parallel reality. Is you're in control of your world, whereas before you weren't. So all those things that you were out of control with, those are the things that are going to start slamming at you before your parallel reality shift, or your change into your new reality happens. It has to, because it doesn't want to exist anymore. So it brings itself up in order to be tossed into the garbage. You know how on your computer you have a pop-up on your main screen, and you select it and drag it down and put it in the trash can, or delete the file? It has to come up in order for you to delete it out of the system. You got to bring it to the front screen of the computer, drag it, and throw it in the trash. That's exactly what the reality is doing when you can't find your keys, your boss is yelling at you, you're having conflict with your family and arguments and stuff. That's unnecessary things. It's all trivial stuff. You gotta take it, click it, hold, drag it, and put it in the trash. That's why it comes up, because you have to get rid of it. You can't have that in your hard drive anymore. The subconscious mind has got that stuff stored, and so that's why the subconscious mind brings it to the front in order for you to delete it. Because if it's stuck in the back in the storage unit, you can always dig it out. Digging out that trash. You ever hear people say you're digging up old trash? Yeah, the subconscious mind doesn't want it there either. It wants a clean storage unit with things that are beneficial to you, and not hoarding stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. That's why you have to get rid of it. And some of you, that'll even manifest literally. Like if you're a hoarder, I've talked about this before. If you like hoarding things, and a lot of that stuff is not going to be really worth anything, it's just sentimental value to you, or you think you might use it later down the road, and it's no, you never use it, get rid of it. And if you just don't want to throw it away in the trash, give it to somebody else that might have value. Maybe somebody else needs it. You ask them, hey, I got such and such in my garage. Can you, I've got this old coffee maker that I never used, because I have a different one. It's never been used before, but it's been sitting in my garage. Do you want it? Just give your stuff away that doesn't serve you. So it's actually physical and literal and mental. So the stuff that's bothering you in your life, drag it and delete it in the trash. Don't hoard on to things that don't serve you for your present and your future self. And that's another thing. If you're living in the present, you'll want to get rid of that old trash. Now, I'm not saying like a priceless family heirloom. You know, you got a diamond that your great grandmother had. We'll put that on a mantle and you put it in a glass case and make it look beautiful for people to see. But I'm talking about like little trinkets that you've been holding on to and you've been collecting all over the place, and it's just stockpiling up, and old paperwork that doesn't even need existence anymore because you already did your taxes, or you know, it was a previous job that you don't need that paperwork for anymore because you're never going to use that paperwork again because you're moving on to your new passion or hobby or whatever the case may be. So why would you need that old paperwork? It doesn't make sense. If you're worried about like being sued later on and that's why you're holding on to stuff, that fear will bring that lawsuit to you, so you'll have to pull that stuff up. But if you don't fear it and let it go, you don't have it. There's no evidence anyways if you got rid of it. So I just want to let you guys know that those tests the universe gives you are not only tests, but it's a subconscious mind putting it in the front so you can delete it in the trash. Because it doesn't want that in the storage unit anymore. You just want to put stuff that serves you in the storage unit. Not stuff that doesn't serve you. You want to get rid of it. And live in the present moment. And the present moment will want you to do that. So if you're not feeling like you're a hoarder and you don't feel like getting rid of anything, you're not living in the present, because the presence will tell you to get rid of some of that stuff. You might be living in the past if you're hoarding. But if you're living in the present, like, oh, I don't need that thing. You know, I've got 3 sets of golf clubs. I never use the other one. You know, I'm not going to, no one else plays with me, so get rid of it. Or give it to somebody, go to the golf course and say, hey, I got a bag of golf clubs. Does anybody want them? I don't use them anymore. Or maybe you run into somebody that says, hey, I'm interested in golfing, but I don't want to spend $500 on a brand new set of clubs and I'm not interested. Oh, here, take my bag. This is an old set that I don't use anymore. Try it out, and if you like golf, then go ahead and buy a new set. But here's a trial, so you don't have to spend all your money on a new set and not even like the sport. There's a lot of variables here, but I'm just giving you that as an example. I see a lot of rich people, like, they'll hold a yard sale and sell stuff at like kind of like low prices, and it's a yard sale, and maybe sometimes it is high price stuff. But it's like, do you really need to sell it? Why don't you just give it away? I'm not saying if you got like a brand new Corvette in the garage that you don't want anymore, just give it away. You can if you want to, if that's how your manifestation works. But I see rich people like trying to sell their old stuff off. Donate it. Why are you selling it? You don't need the money. Donate it. So what I'm talking about just doesn't apply for poor. It applies for the rich too. All spirituality, your financial status is just an example of some of the spirituality you work. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're highly spiritual, and because you don't have any money, that doesn't mean you're not spiritual. Money is just energy. It's just a type of magnetism that you attract in a certain mind state. Spirituality is much more than just money, but we focus on it so much, and like I said before, that's 90% of your guys' problems that are watching this video is a lack of money, that you're not manifesting the abundance in your life. That's why I talk about it, because our society is constructed on the fear of lack and limitation through money, which is an energy source of a commodity of trade. Someone at the top said, hey, money, gold, silver, dollar bills or whatever, this is what we're going to use to like purchase things. We're going to trade money for items. Someone else, maybe that was like in the old times was controlling this world. They came up with that construct to put you in fear of lack and limitation. But like money doesn't exist. It's just energy. Even though even now, like the banks just print free money. How much do you want in your bank account that just adds zeros to it? They call it debt. Like America's trillions of dollars in debt. Britain is trillions of dollars in debt. No, it's not, because money is a made-up energy thing. It doesn't exist, so there is no such thing as debt. You don't owe anybody anything. Money's not real, so therefore you don't have debt. So if you have a debt mindset, like I hear people talk about this all the time, if I pay off my credit cards, why? You don't have debt. Debt doesn't exist. You think if you have $3 million in your bank account right now, you'd be worried about that $20,000 credit card? No, because it doesn't matter. Oh, if I won the lottery, I'd pay off all my credit cards. I hear people say that all the time. You're looking at it the wrong way. Debt doesn't exist. Money is not real. It's just your perception of reality. You're co-creating this universe, and you're part of that. So just create the money into your bank account, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please stay tuned in for more. If you ever have any questions, always email me or write me in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them. And have a nice day.